I'm Paul Nixon, the CEO of Corporate Eye, and in this video I'll be talking about return on investment and how we deliver that to our clients. Let me give you a brief overview of the value proposition of Corporate Eye first of all. First, our very strong focus on return on investment, whether that's through helping reduce costs, increase revenues, or helping shareholders understand the value proposition of the company, its key strengths, its business model, its strategies, all the way up to its investment case, which can then positively impact the share price and the market cap. Secondly, we help mitigate company risk, particularly on the corporate reputation side, whether that's through better explanations of compliance, of issues that the company may have, or indeed some of the negative sentiment that may be out on the internet or has existed in the past. We also provide forward-looking strategies that consider how you may want to protect yourself against crises that may not even have happened yet. Third, we provide a customizable framework to help clients measure where you are now and where you want to be to help you improve. Fourth, we can help improve how you use your content, both the existing great content that may exist in your annual report or your analyst presentations, and how to use that better across the website to tell your corporate story, or indeed how better to create more memorable content, whether through better infographics and things such as that again help deliver the message in a more effective way. If you do all of those four things, then that will improve your market standing, both in comparison to your peers, but also how your stakeholders perceive you. So, let's now talk about return on investment in detail. I'd like to start with an example of a company that wanted to communicate and better explain its strategy to its shareholders and the impact that that had. So, it was an AIM-listed company, and the CEO went to his PR advisors and said, I recognize my shareholders have questions that I haven't answered, and I want to answer those better. And he said, I'd like to do that as a webcast. Surely not live, they said. Yes, I want to do it live. Don't want to do that, but he still did. So they made an announcement and invited questions from the shareholders. Many came in, and he reviewed the questions and then did his webcast. Prepared some slides, was picking up products, saying this is version 1 of the product, but look at version 2, how much thinner, lighter, better it is. He was passionate, he was authentic, and people responded really positively. He got 100 emails from shareholders thanking him for doing it. One shareholder said, on the basis of this webcast alone, I've doubled my investment in your company. At the end of the day, the share price was up 7%. Also, trading was up 30%. So what do we learn from this? I think first, we learn that there is an appetite for better communication, for more information, for better understanding of the strategy, particularly around product and innovation and so on. And that secondly, if you do that, you will get a positive response, potentially impacting share price and market cap. So, how else can we impact the bottom line? Well, apart from delivering powerful strategies and ideas to improve how you communicate at a very cost-effective rate, in the things that we look at, we can also help impact costs. People tend to forget that when the corporate websites first started being introduced, they were about giving information to all different types of stakeholders so that they didn't need to phone up the company. And then when occasionally websites are rebuilt, content is reduced. And people tend to forget that the ideal way of answering some of those questions is by providing the standard information across a range of areas. So whether that's basic information of where is the head office, through to how do I become a supplier, companies or different stakeholders being able to fill in information online and not need to call the company, this can also help reduce the calls. It's a fairly basic one. But also what people forget is they need to make all this information easy to find, because if they don't find that information, they'll have to call you. And so as we look across more and more areas of the website, then you will find opportunities to, again, satisfy stakeholder needs for information. As you get more sophisticated, we look to e-coms. So e-communications has allowed many investors to take the annual report on an electronic basis. And many companies have benefited from applying e-coms, so they've had a cost saving as a consequence. However, companies with big shareholder bases, primarily retail shareholder bases, then have not got out all the benefits that could be wrung out of this opportunity. We study the techniques, we look for all the different approaches that people have taken, whether it's providing different channels, different incentives for the different shareholder groups to come off taking a physical hard copy annual report. And we can help drive down those benefits and improve the pounds saved to the company. Another area is in careers. If you recruit many people or are fighting the war for talent and struggling to win it, then there are ways that you can use the web that will either help reduce costs or make your recruitment process more efficient and more successful. There are a lot of techniques in the whole process of recruiting online where you are trying to match or answer the questions for the job seeker. Am I right for this company? And is this company right for me? And if you get those questions right, then you improve the amount of self-selection that you can do on the web, and reduce the amount of calls you have to take, and reduce the amount of interviews you have to do. Furthermore, with social media tools, you can laser target professional hires to find exactly the sort of people who match the skills that you need. And you can do that in a much more cost-effective way than has been achievable before. And so if you start applying those techniques, you will come out with cost savings. So, let's look at a different aspect where reputation can drive investment. And if you communicate particular things better, again, you can increase your chances of getting investment from the right sources. The United Nations Global Compact principles have recently become a lot more important. Why? Well, that's because Western investors are starting to use this as a basis for deciding whether or not to invest in companies. And there are now systems and reports that then tell you how companies are performing against these principles, whether it's compliance or outstanding issues, and whether they've moved and improved on those issues over time. If you communicate those well, if you show that you are addressing the issues that you may have, then again, it can improve and unlock investment. So, let's consider another angle. Okay, this is one of our clients where in the mining industry, we looked at what was important for the industry, what were the key industry drivers, what were the things that would determine the winners and losers going forward as the mining industry goes through significant change. And having looked at all those key factors, we found that the particular client wasn't talking about these factors, but also actually had some very strong stories to tell in not only one, not only two, but actually all of the different factors. And that through expressing and communicating their strengths in these areas, they had an opportunity to really show how well they were positioned as the market changed. So, it represented a blind spot, an area of communications that they weren't addressing, which now they're starting to tackle, which should have positive impact on how they're perceived and their market capitalization. Next, we'll talk about revenue generation, which is from our B2B services, where we look at how sales processes work and how buyers are being supported. We look at how the marketing processes work and are supported through the website and online generally. We also look at how well companies are showing that they care about customers, how they are reflecting the positive feedback, testimonials, the extreme service examples they may have done, and how they are conveying those across the website. By looking deeply at all these different areas, we can actually generate ideas, produce ideas that will improve the bottom line and increase revenue, help them sell more, help them market better, and improve the customer feedback that gives that positive feedback loop, which again helps revenue. So, we worked with one company called Nansen, a Swedish company who've recently started marketing within the UK. They're an implementation partner of a content management system called Episerver. And I worked directly to Michael and we reviewed those 3 areas. And as a consequence of our work, they will be applying it to their global marketing strategy. He's tested the ideas and he's pleased to say they work. So, that gives you an idea of some of the areas where we focus on return on investment. We want to make a real difference to companies so that they can use us and use us again to improve their business. If any of this has interested you, please do contact us. Our contact details are on our website, and we look forward to talking to you. Thank you.